And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live. You see behind us the Northeast Community Credit Union on Jason Witten Way here in Elizabethton on this Wednesday. We're going to park Chick-fil-A, be back there next Wednesday, of course, but we're here today. We're going to be joined by Andrew Lewis and Seth Miller from here at the Credit Union. Coach Sean Witten is going to join us, Cyclone football. Also, Adam Buckles is going to join us, breaking down the NFL draft, which is tomorrow night. Who's going to be the number one quarterback? Well, apparently it may not be C.J. Stroud. It may not be Bryce Young. It may be Will Levis from Kentucky. That's the word now. He may be the guy everybody's going to go after, or even Hendon Hooker. So Buckles will break it down for us coming up here in a little while. Also going to be joined by Gary Rowe, old Kentucky Wildcat fan. Saw him the other day at Chick-fil-A, and I said, man, come over and talk about your boy John Calipari and all those Wildcats leaving the program. He said, okay, I can do that. And we'll talk about that, and we'll get his take on Levis, see what he thinks, how he's going to go, the Kentucky quarterbacks. All that and a whole lot more. We're here again at Northeast Community Credit Union on this Wednesday. Show number 1844. Andrew will join us coming up here in just a few minutes. We come here, once a month, every couple of months, I guess, whenever we can work it into her schedule, my schedule, and today we did. Here's Loretta Bowers, the national anthem. We'll give you the burst of the day. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross who unashamedly do that, and so we'll do that right now, as a matter of fact. Somebody's already texted me. All right, let's see who we got here on the old verse of the day. It goes like this. Deuteronomy 31:8 out of the Old Testament. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged. Boom. That would be Deuteronomy 31:8. The verse of the day here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's take a look at Major League Baseball again on this Wednesday. See how things went last night. Well, down in St. Petersburg, Florida, the string got snapped. Put on my Food City glasses, and away we go. The string got snapped last night. Luis Garcia scattered 3 hits over 6 innings. The Astros ending Tampa Bay's 14-game season-opening home winning streak 5-0. Only 3 teams had a longer run than the Rays are now 20-4 overall, so still pretty good start, to say the least, for the Tampa Bay Rays and their manager, Kevin Cash. Sad part of this is the announced crowd for the game last night. This is the Major League best Rays, got the best record in Big League Baseball right now, against the defending World Series champion Astros. 9,916 fans. It's pitiful. 99-16 at the ballpark last night. Pitiful, to say the least. So, there you go. All right, last night, how did things go? Well, it went pretty good in Atlanta. Behind Charlie Morton, the Braves win again. Ozzie Albies, again, 2 home runs? Ozzie Albies with 2 long balls. They beat Miami 7-4. Cincinnati rallies from a 6-0 deficit to beat Texas in Cincinnati 7-6, our 2 local or regional teams. Other winners, Colorado, Boston, the Dodgers, Seattle, we told you Houston, Toronto, Washington, Detroit, Minnesota. Minnesota wins get that story here somewhere. That is interesting. Minnesota wins that series against the Yankees for the first time since 2001. 22 years it's been since Minnesota won a series against the Yankees, and they did it last night. Beat them 6-2. Joe Ryan went 5-0 on the season. Pretty good start for the Twinkie starting pitcher. And the Cubs blanked the Padres 6-0. Here's your schedule for today in Major League Baseball. Here's some day games, a lot of them, as a matter of fact. 12:35 first pitch. The Reds, Graham Ashcraft on the mound against the Texas Rangers. Boston at Baltimore. Other day games, the White Sox in Toronto, Colorado at Cleveland, the Yankees in Minnesota. That's an incorrect story then, because they're still playing. So they made this big deal, and I took it off the wire that they had won the series against the Yankees, and that's incorrect. They've got another game today against each other. I usually don't have to check my sources when I get it from the people I get it from, but maybe I do now. Anyway, Detroit at Milwaukee, other day game, one more, Kansas City at Arizona. Tonight under the lights, Bryce Elder and the Braves will take on Miami at 7:20 tonight at Truist Park. Dodgers at Pittsburgh, Seattle at Philadelphia, Houston at Tampa Bay, the Nationals in New York against the Mets, San Diego against the Cubbies. Also, you have the Angels hosting Oakland and San Francisco hosting the Cardinals again tonight. Your standings heading into today's action in the American League East, Tampa Bay 4.5 better than Baltimore in the East. In the Central, Minnesota 3-game lead over Cleveland. In the West, the Rangers a game and a half better than the Astros. The Astros are surging. They've won 7 out of the last 10. So the Astros are making some moves in the West, the defending World Series champs. Detroit's hot in the Central. They've won 2 and 6 out of 10. In the East, Toronto's hot. They've won 3 and 6 out of 10. In the National League, the Braves, they've won 2 in a row and 6 out of 10. They lead the Mets by 2 in the division. Pittsburgh has won 8 out of 10. They lead the division, the Central, by 1 over Milwaukee. Excuse me. In the West, the Dodgers have overtaken the Arizona Diamondbacks. Dodgers with a half-game lead over Arizona. The Padres a game and a half back. And that's your look, again, in Major League Baseball as far as the standings. We are live here again, as we are. We're on the road at Northeast Community Credit Union, almost at ballpark. We used to say that when we're down there doing the Cyclones. But we're in their place today. Here on Jason Witten Way, they have locations here, Roan Mountain, 19E, on the 4-lane, and also on Oakland Avenue in Johnson City, right down from Mellow Mushroom. Wow. Collins and Company. Under contract in the last 4 or 5 days. 2, 4, 6, 8 of the properties are now under contract. Market is still red hot with Collins and Company. In fact, they need listings now. They need listings because Coal Chute Road's under contract, as is Rock Hill Road, Treadway Street, Old Highway 19E, Laurels Road, Grindstaff Avenue, Rock Hill Road, and Johnson Avenue. Those 8 listings we've been telling you about over the last couple of weeks, they're now all under contract, gone. So they're doing it and doing it right at Collins and Company. Check them out at collinsandcompany.info. That's where you want to look. All right? All righty. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll take a break. Coming up, top of the hour, Adam Buckles joins us. Tomorrow night is the NFL Draft. The Carolina Panthers have the number 1 draft pick. Who will they pick? He's been doing his homework. He's going to stop by and tell us all about it. Looking forward to having Buckles on the show. One of the, in my opinion, one of the good guys here in the area. So he'll be along here in a little while. Sean Witten, Community Credit Union. So looking out the window here, we're here on Jason Witten Way, right across the street, looking down the road here, down the street, to the back of Citizens Bank Stadium. We've got football over there in how many days? Let's see. Let's see how many days we've got. We have football in, let's see, 14 days from kickoff, although it won't be here. It'll be in Johnson City, but it's 114 days till kickoff, the Railroad Rumble. Put on by Carter County Bank, the Bank of Tennessee. The Cyclones in Science Hill, 114 days from today. Hello, Susu Bishop. Hello, Gary Banks. Looking forward to seeing Gary. Gary's back off sick bay. He's back at work. So we'll be at Food City this week in Gray with Big Daddy Dale Hammett. We'll be there broadcasting live on Friday of the show. And tomorrow we are taking the day off, but we'll be back on Friday. But today we're here at Northeast Community Credit Union, and we'll take a look at high school baseball and high school softball and high school soccer. All that right after this from one of our great sponsors, the good folks in Big John's Closeouts. We're live here again at Northeast Community Credit Union on show number 18. Got the new stain and sealers in called Goof Proof. Tell me about this, sir.
Well, it's Ready Seal makes it. It's basically a goof proof. You have to stop and start. You know, maybe it's lunch or a break, or it's too hot, you want to come back later in the evening. A lot of times you get those roller streaks, you get brush marks, you get a lot of problems with trying to start and stop a number of times on anything, whether it's a vertical surface, a horizontal surface, doesn't matter. Well, with Ready Seal, and we went to a demo of it and we washed it and stuff of that nature, this pretty much eliminates it. You know, it's pretty goof proof. You know, you can apply it just about at any temperature. You know, I know people are not going to be out there when it's 20 degrees trying to put stain on.
Right.
But, you know, when it's a little cooler, when that deck surface or that fence surface or whatever that you're staining is dry, you know, whether it's 40 degrees or it's 70 degrees, you can put this stuff on. And even when it's cooler colors that people use on a very regular basis, they've got covered. And we have it in stock now. It's very, very well priced, very comparable to anything Cabot or Olympic or anyone else has. And so, you know, you can get out there and do the job without having to worry about having a deck surface that's got all these start and stop marks on it.
Natural, pecan, dark walnut, mahogany, redwood, natural cedar, burnt hickory, and mission brown. There's the colors, but this won't do it justice. You need to stop by and see it for yourself. Again, no laps, runs, or streaks, no back brushing required, no cracking, no chipping, no flaking or peeling. Can be applied, as he said, at any temperature and heat.
So put it in gallons, and we have some of the colors in 5 gallons.
It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So goof proof, a lot of folks begin to think about doing that. So stop there and also get the Worcester brushes made.
Rollers, brushes, however your application needs are, we can pretty much meet that for any of your paints, stains, whatever.
So be loyal, buy local, and when you get in there, buy American-made products, and the brushes made by Worcester are made here in America, keeping our Americans working. It's great stuff. Hours are open at Big John's Closeouts.
Well, we're Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6. We're open 8 to 4 on Saturday, closed on Sunday so people can get out and go to church and worship a little.
Social media, how do we find you?
Well, you've got a number of options. You can email at experts@bigjohnscloseouts.com. If you have cabinet questions for any of our cabinet estimators and stuff, you can email them at cabinets@bigjohnscloseouts.com. And I don't care if they want to go and maybe send me.
Love promoting Big John's Closeouts. I shop there all the time. Love it, love it, love it. One of our proud sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Douglas Sports Show. And again, be loyal, buy local, and shop where they hammer high prices at Big John's Closeouts.
Are you needing a better night's sleep? We have a huge selection of mattresses in stock, so you don't have to wait to sleep great. Plus, right now, we'll pay your sales tax, and you get a free 7-piece sleep pack with select mattress purchases, plus free delivery and setup. Come into Cannons today and sleep great tonight.
And one more note on Big League Baseball before we move on here. I forgot to tell you that the Pittsburgh Pirates signed the largest contract in club history, signing outfielder Brian Reynolds. 8-year deal with $106 million with a $2 million signing bonus. Pretend you're just going to sign your name. Tom Taylor, $2 million. How about that? That's a pretty good day at the office, isn't it? Yeah, I would think so. So, anyway, Brian off in Kingsport, which I think is really cool. Officials previewed the city's latest amenity yesterday, a soon-to-be bicycle pump track. It's part of a two-phase project started last summer, the opening of the new Scott Adams Memorial Skate Park in Kingsport. Work on the facility began this year. Track is expected to be completed by fall. Once done, the track will feature berms and walls to be able to ride effortlessly without pedaling your bike. In the future, the city hopes to build mountain biking and hiking trails in the surrounding area of Cement Hill. Alk on the old General Shell property the city acquired about a decade ago. So good news out of Kingsport. That's pretty cool. All right, that's that one. Then here in Elizabethton, bet you did. I didn't know this. Maybe you did. I did not know that we have a business here in town. Part of the that. You knew that? Yeah, so I thought this was cool. Right Screen's what it's called. Adding 25 more employees, expanding, and also the partnering with TCAP and the Northeast Tennessee Hub, NET Hub, NetHub, the Northeast Tennessee Regional Hub, which is really cool. BJ Gotts, the director of operations, had no clue. So that's something else I learned. They're going to bump it up. They're going to reach it up to about 135 employees. That's in addition to the 15 new hires the growing company has already hired in the last few weeks. It's called Right Screen. Pretty cool. The largest independent manufacturer of window screens and patio door screens in North America. 200,000 square foot facility on Judge Don Lewis Boulevard. It's pretty neat. So, we just had a story not too long about Snap-on, how they're expanding. So, good things going on here in Elizabethton. Getting a new Pizza Hut. It's going down the street. She rolled her eyes. Anyway, but I think that's pretty cool. Snap-on and Right Screen. All right, there it is. Let me show you on the screen. Right Screen announces 25 expansion partnerships with TCAT Elizabethton and NetHub. That's pretty cool stuff. Hit the bell. I like it. These plans down, but a contract in the last 2 weeks. Coal Chute Road, Rock Hill Road, Treadway Street, Old Highway 19E, Laurels Road, Grindstaff Avenue, Rock Hill Road, and Johnson Avenue, they being Collins and Company. Every one of those are under contract. So, folks who are moving in here, they understand what we already knew. It's a pretty cool place. Hello, Reba Whitehead. Hello, Rick down in Pensacola. How you doing, sir? He watches every day. Bless your heart. Made him Elizabeth and Carter County fan. He's never been in here. So, but we're coming down this year. I'm doing a live broadcast from the beach. I'm doing it this year. I don't know if I'm going to be up on the pier or I'm going to be there on the beach with the ocean as a backdrop. I'm going to do a show. I've already made up my mind. Go load up and go down and do the battery operated on the beach live from Pensacola Beach. Going to do that. So, going to do that. All right, what we're going to do next, we're going to do that. We're going to bring in the lady herself. She's in the house. She'll join us next. That will be the one, the only. Miss Lewis in the house. Andrea Lewis. She'll join us right after this from Double C Western Supply, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Western Supply and jewelry anytime, year-round is a good time. Let's take a look at some of this from Montana Silversmith. Tell us about this one, would you please?
Sure. That one's got a little bit of turquoise in it. It's a matching set. Of course, earrings and necklace. And that one, the price tag on
40.
it is $40. But look at the price tag on the back from Montana.
90.
So
Wow.
we got those at a special deal, so we wanted to pass the deal along to our customer as well. So that's one thing that we try to do if we can. So a great deal on those.
Wow.
Less than half price.
These are 65, but Double C's price is 25. Tell me about these.
Yep, same kind of thing. We got those on special pricing, so we passed it along. But those have a little bit of turquoise in it as well. Just really neat. Got the fish. That's called a fish hook dangle. Pretty. Would go with a lot of things. Yeah. And the good thing about Montana is they stand behind product is all silver overlaid, so they're not going to tarnish. It's not going to be something that. It's just like any quality jewelry that you would purchase anywhere. So very good product.
This one's regular 50. Double C's price is 40. Tell me about this one.
Another turquoise jewelry. Turquoise is still big. I don't see turquoise ever going away. It's just a classic. But there again, it's the turquoise and the silver, so they won't tarnish.
All right. Got a couple more here. Gift-giving ideas.
Yep.
These retail for 50, but Double C's price is 25. Wow.
Half price. Yep. So a lot of items. This is just a handful of the items that we have that are on that discounted price. A lot of our items from Montana in the case is discounted that way. So a lot of good bargains, good pieces, good classic pieces too that you could continue to wear.
This one is 55, but Double C's price is 15.
Oh,
Wow.
my.
Wow, giving it away, basically. Practically, aren't you?
Practically. That'd be a great Mother's Day gift.
Absolutely. For
We
any
do
type of
have
gift, yep.
some, speaking of Mother's Day, Montana, we've got a necklace that says Mother. We've got several of those, and those are deep discounted as well. So that would be something good to keep in mind for Mother's Day coming up.
Well, this last one retails is 90, and you got it for 40. On a three-piece. Look at this.
Three-piece set, yeah. And a substantial, it's not small, it's a substantial amount of metals there. So a real pretty design with the leaves,
There
or the
you go.
feathers. Either way, I guess you'd want to call that. So,
All that and a whole lot
Yep.
more. In fact, there's one shelf of Montana that's half price, got
Yep.
discounted right now.
Yep,
So
one whole shelf. And we've not got the small case. We've got the the great big case is probably 4 foot wide. So we've got a lot to choose from Montana.
Social media?
Social media, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We also have a group page on Facebook as well.
Closed on Sundays and Mondays. Your hours Tuesday through Saturday?
Tuesday through Friday is 10 to 6, and Friday is 10 to 4.
And that magical phone number is?
423-297-1551. And you can find us on the web at doublec.com.
She knows what I want to ask.
DoubleCWestern.com. .com.
One of our great sponsors, again, baseball season, strikeouts, football's first downs, and basketball, it's a Double C3. Our great sponsor of the Tom Daly Sports Show and Cyclone Sports right here at Double C Western Supply.
We're all picky about our produce, and whether you're a thumper, a sniffer, a squeezer, or just plain particular, we promise no one is more picky about produce than Food City. That's why we're introducing our Picky Promise. Whether it's from farms down the road or tropical produce from the ends of the earth, we guarantee it's fresh or we'll replace it. You see, we're picky about produce, so you don't have to be.
Back on the Tom Daly Sports Show. Look who stopped by. Why would she not? We're at her place. And look what she got me. Oh, look. What'd you call it? A trucker's hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, a trucker's hat. So I'm not sure what signifies a trucker's cap, but there it is. So I've got that for my collection now. I will proudly wear that. Probably, I don't know, next time I wear it, I may wear it before the show's over. But I'll definitely have it on. Look at that. So this is a trucker's hat. So what symbolizes a trucker's hat?
Well, as you can see, the front is a little, and some people put the bill flat, and some people leave the bill the way it is.
Flat like that?
It just depends. It just really depends on
how would you do
how you want to style
the bill? Be flat like this, go straight up, like a duck.
Flats. I'm not gonna turn it because you might not want it, but they like bend it out.
I got you.
Yeah.
I like it like that. So.
Because if you've not watched the episode where we talked about trucker hats,
I haven't.
Here we go. There it is, and we got Tom one.
Got me one. There you go. Northeast Community Credit Union ball cap. As they say in Germany, gut danke. It's the only thing I know in German, which means thank you. So I tried to impress you, and apparently I didn't. So
have
no clue. No
clue.
I got you. Coming up, Sean Whitten joins us, head football coach of the Cyclones, spring football practice. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. They were there last week, and we'll get an update on that. Seth's going to come by and talk about, I guess, the Braves. They won last night, so he'll be gaga about the Braves. He'll be all about it. So, and who else is going? Oh, Buckles. Do you know Adam Buckles by chance?
I know Adam.
He's coming to talk about the NFL draft, which is tomorrow night. So, and for once, first time probably in 3 or 4 years, the quarterback is the big story. Who's going to be? There's 4 or 5 quarterbacks. Who's going to get the number one quarterback, and the number one draft will go to the Carolina Panthers. They got the number one pick tomorrow night. So which quarterback will they take? And Mr. Buckles has done his homework, and he'll be with us here in a few minutes to tell us all about the top of the hour. So there you be. Now, I want to talk about the Northeast Community Credit Union Business Spotlight. Tell me about that, would you please?
I will. So we have the Business Spotlight for any small business that has an active checking with us. And you have opportunities to have free advertisement. We give you the opportunity to set up in the morning or afternoon 1 day a week for your month, and you can sell, you can promote, you can talk to members as they come in at any location that is available for that month. So 12 months out of the year. And I've got the schedule. And so, yeah, if you got your business checking account with us, and you would be very interested, then let us know. We also promote it on our Facebook and Instagram.
For no cost.
For no cost.
Yeah. And one of the perks, the bells and whistles of being a member here, so that you can bring, get with her, you can bring, or not bring, but go to where they are and spotlight your business, 4 or 5 minutes, whatever?
Yep. You can do, you mean 4 or 5 hours, like either the morning or afternoon. one day a week. And then we can't forget to let you know about our East Tennessee Community Network meeting that we have once a month. And so that's also free. And let me know. You don't have to be a member to do that. So
That's what I was talking about, where they go down to the meeting and stand up and give like a little 4 or 5 minute spiel about their business.
Oh, yeah.
So
oh, yeah.
So it's really a double whammy. You can do this and then go down and do that as well. So,
Yes.
And she is the key to making all that happen. So you can get a hold of her and say, yes, I would like to go and showcase my business. Why would you not? It's free. So, and you just never know. You throw enough mud up on the wall, it's going to stick. So if you go stand in front of some people and talk about it, or you, as she said, utilize it here under the business spotlight, you don't know. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
Exactly.
We're in sales. Ask and get, don't you won't. That's how it rolls. So business spotlight is one of the bells and whistles here at the credit union. Community involvement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different things. Just she jotted down here for the show. Just off the top of her head, 13 different things the credit union's involved in. Take it away. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and this is, it's very unlimited. These are just the ones that I could jot down.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much more that we support. So we've got William Armstrong Scholarship that we give. So we've got the high school student branches at our Unaka High School and Elizabethan High School. We have the Elizabethan River Riders baseball team that we basically, it's Northeast Community Credit Union Ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very happy to sponsor that. And then we've got the TLC Community Center, United Way of East Tennessee Highlands, and we have Assistance Resource Ministries and Carter County Imagination Library. They just had an Educator Hall of Fame dinner to celebrate, and then we've support Boys and Girls Club of Elizabethan, Recovery Soldiers Ministry,
Mm-hmm.
Loaves and Fishes Outreach Ministries, and Carter County Compassion Center, and the Isaiah 117. And there's more. I know there's so much more. That was just a few that I wanted to jot down for you all because we are community focused, and that's what we're all about. So when we're continuing to just support whenever we can. And so, yeah.
You're helping the teachers. You're helping the high school students. You help through our ministries, helping those less fortunate than you and I. You help the Carter County, helping people read, kids read, the Carter County Imagination Library.
Mm-hmm.
Helping the Boys and Girls Club right over here with Elizabeth, and of course, Recovery Soldiers Ministry. We know those folks have hit a tough patch in their life and getting things turned around. And everybody gets a second chance and third chance and fourth chance. That's why he went up, died on the cross, because he knew he's a God of second and 12 and 13, 14 chances. And that's what Recovery Soldiers Ministry is all about. Carter Compassion Center, that's also helping folks who kind of down on the luck right now, right? A little bit?
It is, yes. Mm-hmm. They're located at the old Elizabethan Chamber of Commerce, and they are fully running. They've got a few people on staff, and they're doing wonderful things. And Mr. Young is just as busy as about anyone I know. So
I've had him on the show. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Okay. And so that's folks needing things. So, and then Isaiah 117 House kind of goes without saying. We're on the board. We love that. And so we're all about the Isaiah 117 House. And then the Arm Ministries, which is right over here behind Ingalls. And that's another great, helping folks out, just like the Loaves and Fishes Outreach Ministry, as she calls it, Serena Miller. So it's a lot of opportunities for you guys to jump in there and help out. And then one of my favorite things she always tells me about when I ask her is about wearing those jeans on Friday. And then at the end of the year, you take all that money. Is it $1 to wear jeans? Is that right?
It is. It's $1 every Friday that you wear jeans. We usually have a theme to go with it every Friday. And so this Friday, it's Superhero Day.
Superhero Day.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you come in here and see Batman and Robin.
Should I even go down the trail and ask if you're going to be dressed up as a superhero? Just let that go.
I just don't even think I own a shirt with that on it.
Okay.
So I may not be participating.
Okay.
But that's okay.
You can wear jeans, but
yes.
But you just don't have a superhero outfit or a shirt to wear, per se.
Right.
If you had one, which would you get, like Wonder Woman or Catwoman or I don't know, who Superwoman, Superman? Who would be your superhero?
Well, my superhero is my dad, so I'd probably get his face put on there.
Looky here, hit that bell, and we'll tear up. You make my mascara run. Okay. All right. So that's a good one to have. Her daddy's, I met him. He's a fine, fine feller.
Yep.
right in there the other day in her office, and they watched the show. He said from time to time in the ball games. So I appreciate that very much. So her superhero would be her dad.
Yeah,
so there you
why
go.
not? And
Yep.
my mom.
And your
They
mama.
both could be on there, you know.
Dual. Two of them. So
Superhero.
the employees wear jeans.
Yep.
At the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
we, of course, tally up all the money that all the employees get to wear jeans every Friday, and then we take the money and do what with it? It's pretty cool.
We allocate
Mm-hmm.
to ask our front line member service representatives what they would consider, they would consider. They see people every day, all day. So we work together and we provide the need where it needs to go.
And then, over above all that, on Father's Day weekend, right here on this parking lot, is a car show. Tell me about that.
We are hosting a car show. We're actually just allowing our space at the main office on 980 Jason Winton Way behind Elizabethan High School, June the 17th, 12:30 to 4:30. Proceeds go to the Loaves and Fishes Outreach Ministries. And I don't have much more information, but when I do, we will share that. And so make sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. So we're really excited. I think that's a really fun weekend on a Saturday before Father's Day, Sunday. It's just a really fun activity that you can do with your father, your son, you know, the leaders, the father figures in your life. So
Father's Day weekend, Father's Day Saturday, Father's Day weekend Saturday. How about that? On June the 17th, which will be here before you know it, 12:30 to 4:30. It's the benefit will go to the money and proceeds to benefit Loaves and Fishes Outreach Ministries, which is feeding the hungry here in Elizabethton. And so it's a good organization doing great things, and we've helped out a little bit, and we're going to try and help out some more here on the show because, you know, like I said the other day, we did this around Christmas, and everybody does stuff for Christmas, but you know what? People go to bed hungry in April and June and August, not just during the holidays. We all want to do something for the holidays and kind of get it warm and fuzzy, but these organizations, they help you around, don't they?
they do.
Yeah.
And that with the United Way, something about the three-way, they're gonna gain income for this special program they're doing this summer for children.
Feed kids.
They're feeding children, so they are gonna earn something. She's gonna be feeding the children this
Young'uns.
summer.
The young'uns.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, when you get there, when you come back, you're coming Monday, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Well, but when you come back Monday at Chick-fil-A on our regular visit, then find out more about that because that's
Yeah.
feed. You know, it's one thing for us grown-ups to go to bed hungry, but to have a kid go to bed hungry, it's kind of tough for me to handle because
Yeah.
and little people, you know, they get their bellies. I guarantee you the schoolwork is effective. You come to school hungry or go home hungry or wake up in the morning hungry, and I just think it kind of sets the tone for when your belly's aching and gurgling because you don't have anything to eat. So she's going to help these young people at Loaves and Fishes Outreach Ministry. And again, the car show is coming up on Father's Day weekend on that Saturday, June the 17th, right here on the parking lot, right?
That's right.
All right. So one more thing, Carter County Reader's Choice. Brag, toot your horn a little bit. It's up there at the top of the sheet. Let it rip. Wait a minute. Boom.
If you didn't already know,
Mm-hmm.
we have been nominated and we won the Best Credit Union, Mortgage Lender, Financial and Investment Firm, and Notary in the Johnson City Press Carter County Reader's Choice. And so thank you for voting us, all of those categories. We appreciate our members. I think that speaks volumes, especially of our customer service community credit union in this area. So thank you. We really want to say thank you. We couldn't do what we do without our membership. So if you are on board with us and you agree and love what we do, be a member.
Be a member. For
Yeah,
$5.
absolutely. That's it.
That's all it takes to open up an account is $5
Yes.
in about 10 minutes of your time or less.
Yeah.
So there you go. You have a meeting to get to. You must go.
I do.
Yes. We're not going to keep her any longer. She needs to be somewhere at high noon, which is in 13 minutes. So you need a truck, and I will see you. Thank you for letting me come over here, and I will see you Monday.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. Sean Witten joins us, and also we're going to be joined by Adam Buckles talking NFL draft, all that, and Seth Miller right after this from the Farm Bureau and the Tom Daly Sports Show.
These are the hands that planted the seed and pulled the weeds and fixed the engine and harvested the crop and loaded the truck. But of all these hands do, nothing is more important than being a good neighbor. From the farm to Food City, local produce is all in a day's work.
On our buddy Joseph Taylor, Ivy Hall Nursing Home. What's going on at Ivy Hall right now?
Yes, sir. Ivy Hall, we're accepting long-term or short-term admissions. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, all insurances. We'd love to have you. You come out, you need some rehab, we'd love to help you. We got private rooms for rehab people. We can get you in, take care of you, send you home, and the food is absolutely out of this world.
Types of rehab you guys do?
Yes, sir. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, respiratory therapy, and like I said, short-term or long-term residents. Yes, sir.
Yep. You also are looking for help?
Yes. I'm looking for RNs, LPNs, CNAs. If you want to be a housekeeper, laundry, kitchen, we're hiring. All departments are hiring at Ivy Hall.
Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Social media, how do we find you?
Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, or ivyhallnursinghome.com is where you go to fill out an application to work.
Love promoting these folks right here on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It is the one and only right here in Elizabethton, Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Will it be Young? Will it be Hooker? Carolina Panthers get the very first pick, and so for the first time in a long time, by the way, good morning, sir. How are you?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wednesday, hump day. And
you got it.
Halfway to Friday, halfway to the weekend.
Halfway to the weekend. So, for the first time in a long time, NFL draft, quarterbacks are kind of taking the center stage. Usually it's been that way, but in the last couple of years it hasn't. So, we've got quarterbacks everywhere, and the Panthers have the very first pick. I was reading last night, it was a C.J. Stroud. I didn't realize this guy's only 5'9". So I'm thinking he's almost like RG3.
RG3.
Yeah, not very big guy in stature. Revis is like 6'4", 225, more of a pro quarterback looking. So NFL draft, what do you think?
Well, this will be the Panthers' second overall pick since, I guess third overall if you couldn't carry Collins back when they had their inaugural. But remember they went with Newton in 11 with their first overall pick. So this will be their second time they picked overall since then. It's a quarterback heavy team. I mean, I think without him, they come to Neyland Stadium last year. I don't think it's a game without him. So he really carried the team. We saw that. C.J. Stroud, talent-wise, he's there, but his size could hurt him. And reading upon, Tennessee fans are going to like this. I think Hooker's doing pretty good for an ACL. That's you don't want to end your season on ACL because that really hurts your draft stock. But golly, he's really turned some scouts' heads. So his stock's rising. Levis's size is what really helps him. I know Tennessee fans are going to say, well, he didn't do anything against us. We held him to 6 points. And he didn't hardly get a yard the second half, and that's true. But I think they're looking at him from a talent standpoint. So you throw them in. You throw Stroud, Young. It's a pretty talented class.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then there's a lot of teams with quarterback needs. You got the Washington, Houston. What do the Packers do now with
exactly
Aaron
gone.
Rodgers going to the Jets? So I mean, the last time a Packer quarterback went to the Jets, we saw how that panned out. Brett Favre went there for a year, then they went to Minnesota. So it's going to be interesting how it all plays out, just like everything else.
I was trying to see in the paper. Maybe you've got it, the order of the draft. I know the Carolina had it.
Let's see. I got it right here.
He always has it. Good job.
Right now,
Carolina
comes in at 1. Houston comes in at 2, which I think that will be. I think that will be. Both need quarterbacks, so I'll be shocked if both Carolina and Houston don't take Stroud or Young or
Levis, Hooker.
Really, it's hard to say this, but he didn't have a lot of help in Florida last year, and I thought Richardson was pretty good for what he had. But his stock's rising, so that's another guy to watch. But yeah, Arizona's 3, kind of old and washed up, so they're trying to scrape back from the bottom. Ever since Andrew Luck retired, they've had trouble at their position. So you got them, Detroit at 6, Vegas 7. You know what? I would love to see, Josh McDaniels in Vegas 1. Atlanta, Chicago at 9, then Philly right out 10. Of course, now Philly's got Jalen Hurts, so I think they don't need no quarterback anymore.
Of course, whoever goes where. Young, Stroud, Hooker, Richardson, Levis. There's the first 5 picks. Do you think they'll all be quarterbacks?
I'll be shocked not, because Will Anderson, him being defensive lineman, defensive specialist, a linebacker or a lineman player either or. I think his stock's really rising. I think lineman and tackle is the one position everybody wants with quarterback, and I think it'll be a mix of 2 quarterbacks and linemen for the top 5, 2 or 3, or 3 and 2.
Will Anderson, who's the other big lineman?
Well, other big lineman, Jalen Carter from Georgia and Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. Georgia's actually got 2 good linemen, Carter and the Jalen Carter and the other guy. The name slips me for some reason.
Who was the big guy last year? Wore number 99. He looked like he was wide as his table. I mean, he was it Davis? Last name was Davis. I think it's his name. Nissan Stadium's gone.
2027 is the completion year.
What are you going to do with that one? Tear it down?
Likely tear it down. What I think, and I'd love to see it.
Well, last night, we talked about this earlier in the show, Tampa Bay had their 14-game home winning streak snapped. They're in town, the best record in baseball right now, the Rays. Now, the A's are getting ready to move. They've already sought property that they're going to move to Vegas to follow the Raiders. So, Charlotte's
down. You got Broadway. Look how good the Predators. I mean, they've been the solid pro team, and because I know the Titans, I still consider them the Houston Oilers for some odd reason. So a lot going on. Be great to see. Be great for the city of Nashville, state Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is, don't tear down Nissan, convert it to a baseball ballpark.
I don't know if you can convert it.
One end or kind of, because I know when the Raiders and the A's shared Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in football season, they would convert the baseball stadium to a football field. So maybe, I don't know if it's
Boston, New York come, because about half of, I think we'll hear something about expansion here pretty soon. I don't know when I say soon, might be within a year or so, but I do think Nashville's the number one town to get be the first on the list.
Speedway's back up to snuff to bring NASCAR back in there, because that's where they're hosting they used to have it in Vegas. Now they have the awards dinner in Nashville now. Doing that.
Yeah, that's right. I think a lot of Tennessee fans will be glued to the TV tomorrow night and Friday night with, Darnell Wright. He's projected first rounder, and then Jalen Hyatt. I mean, we saw what he could do with his speed. So, I don't think it's a very early go-getter for receivers. And Tillman, of course, you got Tillman, and I think Byron Young. His stock's really rising at defensive end. So Tennessee should have a really they should have a real good. Core players taking
good showing
Thursday and Friday, so it's an exciting time.
Yep,
that shows your program's on the rise.
Absolutely. So, in closing here, he's a basketball official and an umpire. Which is tougher to do, basketball or umpiring? Either or.
Yeah, just flip a coin. Yeah. I mean, both got their odds and ends, and basketball's definitely warmer.
Yeah,
I we've seen baseball. It can be a little brutal out there in the wind and.
Friday, it was a Monday night of that game down at the stadium, senior night. Time we got out, it was like 45 degrees.
Feel the cold air off that river.
Oh, baby, it was cutting. It was coming, too. It was cold, cold, cold. So
we're in Northeast Tennessee. You get a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. So I appreciate what you do, sir. You and the officials in basketball and umpires in baseball, they get a bunch of crap. It's not fair how they're treated. So in my humble opinion, you're out there giving 120%, and you don't get treated right. It's just that simple. And not just here; it's all over the country. And unfortunately, it may get worse before it gets better. And I don't know how you're going to turn the tide, but it may be a microcosm of our society. But everybody just gets jacked up about the officials, and nobody can accept, on a given day that team was better than we are. It's like, the officials robbed us, and he didn't make this call. And I'm thinking, at some point, in fact, I get into an argument with this guy, and I'll let you go. It's back during basketball season, remains anonymous. You didn't call the game, but it was a game that his team got beat. So, the referees, they were out to get us. I said, okay, stop right there. I said, let's pull this up and let's look. I said, what was your free throw shooting? They got beat by 5. I said, what was your free throw shooting? Well, we were 6 for 14. I said, well, there's 8 points. If you make all your free throws, game's over. So there's 1. How many turnovers you have? How many points they have off of turnovers? Well, okay. Then how do you blame it on the officials? When you go back and look at, break the game down, your kids cost you the game starting at the free throw line. It ain't the officials' fault. They didn't miss the shots. Well, I said, well, they're just scapegoats. It's easy to blame the guys in stripes or girls in stripes because, they're just an easy target. But you go back and break down a game, 9 times out of 10, it's not the officiating. It's what you didn't get done. Well, the umpire, he messed that call. Well, okay. How many errors did you have? How many guys leave on base? Well, okay. So it doesn't flush with me. So when they start that stuff,
You pull a John Ward, check the stats.
check the stats. There you go. Thank you, sir, for coming by.
I enjoyed it. Do it anytime.
Oh, you're going to. I'm going to get you on a regular basis.
That's scary. Got it.
He just doesn't know that yet. I'm getting ready to put him to work. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. We have Coach Whitten here and Gary Rowe here. We got these two gentlemen and Seth Miller all straight ahead on the Tom Taylor Sports Union. Recreational loans, 'tis the season to go out and get you some toys, and you can help them. Tell us about that.
Yep, it is in the air. We can feel it, and it's exciting. And what else would you do other than, go on a boat if you can, or purchase a boat, even better, your ATVs, going camping with your family. We do loans for all of that, and we have the best rates, lowest payments, and you can apply at bemycu.org or in person at one of our convenient locations.
Jet skis, motorcycles, campers, boats, RVs. What am I leaving off? Motorcycles? I guess it's
Yes.
motorcycles. Any and all, if you're wanting to get toys, as we call them, grown-up toys, stop by and get a recreational loan at Northeast Community Credit Union. Then you have discounts and tickets at reduced prices at different attractions. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have on our website under resources, you can go to discounts and you get a discount on the Biltmore Estate, or you can go to Splash Country in Dollywood. They also have discounted tickets. Y'all know the prices seem to tick up every year, so we've got discounts on those. Take a look at that. It's really cool.
So how do we have to do it? Have to become a member to get those discounts?
No, you do not. You
Oh,
can
you
go
do
to
not?
nope, you can go to bemycu.org and get your tickets there. And so it's that simple.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then, we talked about this last week, but she and the credit union won awards. Tell us about that.
We did. We are so fortunate for you to vote for us. The best in about 4 or 5 categories of the Reader's Choice in Elizabeth and Carter County. And we'll go ahead and just let you know we're the best credit union, mortgage lender, financial, investment firm, and notary. So we just really want to say thank you to our members, and we're growing, and as you know, we are expanding, and we're looking forward to our future.
Yep. That's Carter County Reader's Choice and the John City Press. The Carter County Readers of the John City Press voted, as you heard her say, the awards that they got, and so they're very tickled that they did, and understandably so.
Yes.
Where can we find you in social media?
Please follow and like us at Northeast Community Credit Union Facebook, and then on Instagram you can find us at BeMyCU. Follow us. We've got so much that we post daily, and we've got events that we share as well. So take a look and send me a message if you have any questions.
To join, it costs what, $5?
$5.
That's it.
And there's no annual fee, there's no monthly fee, and it's wonderful to be a member.
Yep. Locations?
We are in Roe Mountain off of 19E, and then we're on 19E in Elizabethan. We are at the main office behind Elizabethan High School on Jason Lynn Way. And then we have one in Johnson City that is off of West Oakland Avenue.
Right down the street from the Mellow Mushroom. You know where that's at.
Yes.
Very easy to find. And as always, we wrap it up with the magic phone number is
423-547-1200.
There you go. One of our great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports, Northeast Community Credit Union. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, look who stopped by, and we're glad that he did because he's from right over there. Kind of easy to come over here, and sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, love it. So we're talking NFL draft. Again, as Adam came by, it looks like it's going to be quarterback heavy tomorrow night. Panthers get the first pick. Guy by the name of Jason Witten. When did he get picked? Where
2003 draft. That's back when they used to have it in New York, and 69th pick overall, Dallas Cowboys, 3rd round pick.
69th pick, 3rd round pick, and the rest is history. Future Hall of Famer. So, will you watch it tomorrow night? Will you watch the draft?
Oh yeah, first round. I keep up with it. Used to. Coach Hurley, when he coached with me, now the principal at Eastside, me and him used to have a draft party.
Really?
We'd sit and watch from round one all the way through. But we get so busy now with ball games and
Kids.
and everything else that we
Yeah.
don't got time for it no more. But yeah, I keep up with who goes where. Love to see some big time blockbuster trades, and it's a good event.
I'm going to put you at the table. You get the first pick. You're the Carolina Panthers. Which quarterback would you take, and why?
Well, it's tough. It's really tough. I'm kind of a preacher sitting right over here. I'm gonna go with his man from Kentucky. I think longevity. They've talked about him a lot. I'm gonna go with the guy from Kentucky. I just think that just down the road and just the intangibles, and he's got something you can't. Just football IQ and pro style quarterback. And, these guys, you got to take the ball. You got text on a lot of people's board. I don't know if he's one or two, but I kind of like him overall as they having a total package.
One of the things interesting, I was reading this morning, getting ready for the show. He's 6'4", about 225, which is pretty good size for a quarterback, obviously. But C.J. Stroud is 5'9". Can he make it in the NFL? I mean,
You mean Bryce Young?
I mean, I'm sorry, Bryce Young at Alabama.
That's tough, and he's only weighed in at 208 as well. So you look at quarterbacks these days, just your pocket presidents, and we talk about a lot of them that run. Just longevity and then staying healthy. You've seen guys like Tua, in the pocket, he's been banged up. You talk about Dak Prescott, he's missed 19 games in the last 2 years, just throwing the ball and. He broke his thumb by following through and hit his thumb on a helmet. So it's just tough. Drew Brees. I think it's all about the system you go into, Tom. I mean, you think guys like Drew Brees, when his career changed when he partnered with Sean Payton in New Orleans. I mean, I think that you get guys like a Tua, you get Coach McDaniels comes from the 49ers, and it's a lot about the system that you go to. And it's a lot like Jason. I mean, 69th pick overall, but I mean, you think about he went to Bill Parcells, the Dallas Cowboys, and you think about Parcells' history with tight ends. It's just a lot of it it's not so much where you go, it's a system you get. Drafting. You talk about like Andy Reid, just he's an offensive mastermind, and just you talk about just different quarterbacks get drafted, and they got different head coaches 3 years in a row, or different offense coordinators 3 years ago. So you play for guys like Mike Shanahan. I mean, they understand, how to simplify it, how to be quarterback friendly. I mean, how to make things simple, and just so putting a strong group around you. I think that's a big plus for guys that would get drafted.
Would you take a chance on Hooker coming off this knee surgery?
I do. I mean, I think what you get with Hooker is obviously he's 23 years old. He's been in 2 college program systems. Coaching matters to him. You see, he's got a strong arm. He's a pocket guy, and so I think some of these good teams, you need good backup quarterbacks. You can sign him, and something happens to your number one guy, he can step in and be ready to go.
Well, I've not heard much about Stetson Bennett. This guy's taken Georgia 2 national championships. Is he even going to try and play?
I believe so. I think what you get out of a guy like Stetson Bennett is, he's a guy that's probably going to be hang around and have a 15-year career, and he may bounce from team to team to team, but I wouldn't mind to have his job for the next 15 years, just being around, and probably going to be a backup quarterback. But I tell you what, the guy's a winner.
See, that's you're talking about intangibles. I mean, it's like Bryce Young. I mean, he's been in Saban's system. I'm thinking he's going whatever he's learned that system's going to rub off, take it to the NFL. And look what Trevor Lawrence doing in Jacksonville. I mean, he's slowly beginning to transcend that football team. They're all kind of rallying around him. So, does Stetson Bennett, is he a guy you take a chance on?
I do. I think he's a late round pick. I think he's going. He's got to go to a team that's got a coach that's been in the organization for a long time. A guy like John Harbaugh, or a guy like Pete Carroll that's been in it, that understands what it kind of takes to win. But I think when you talk about guys like Hooker, you talk about these quarterbacks, you talk about Bryce Young at Saban. I mean, he had Sarkisian, he's had Lane Kiffin, and he's got the number of mastermind offensive guys. I mean, but you think here's a guy like Hooker. Virginia Tech was. They very much told him to go with Fuentes there. Here comes Heupel in. I still think coaching matters. You talk about Trevor Lawrence. Here's he gets Urban Meyer, but then he gets a Super Bowl winning coach in comes from the Eagles a year later, and then man, now they're in the playoffs. So I mean, I think that coaching matters in the league. You talk about Russell Wilson, probably had a terrible year this year, but man, he's got Sean Payton now. I mean, coaching still matters to a lot of these guys, especially if they want to prolong their careers.
We'll talk Cyclone football here in a second. I got one more question for him about Aaron Rodgers, now a New York Jet, going from the Packers system to New York. Think he'll flourish or not? What do you think will happen?
Well, I mean, a guy like Aaron Rodgers is going to flourish wherever he goes. I mean, the system's set up for him to be, as long as he can stay healthy. I mean, they've got, they're very, draft picks. They're solid on defense. I mean, they're a defensive mind head coach, and so, I think that as long as he's got some weapons around him, the AFC East is a tough division with New England and Miami and Buffalo, but the Jets. I mean, they're all in. I mean, it's been 20 years since they've had the only quarterback you can name that they've had that's been decent. You go all the way back to, your days of Joe Namath. I mean, it's just, Tom. I mean, it's just put it back in your days up there in West Virginia. And Joe Namath is the only quarterback you can name with the Jets that had any.
You're right.
Still throw it around. I mean, obviously he's going to make the team better there, and so I mean, as long as he stays healthy, it's you very seldom can find a guy that, you can bet on those guys being there as long as he can stay healthy.
The system's in place in Elizabeth, and obviously we got 2 state championships and state runner-up to show it, and so the system's in place, and so we're in the middle of spring football practice. How's it going?
Well, it's been great. We went 3 days last week. We had a day yesterday. Guys are really working hard. The guys have done a great job in all season. This is kind of that stage 2, as we call it, kind of getting into spring practice, and then stage 3 is obviously the summer work, and then stage 4 is obviously the preseason camp, as we head into fall season. And guys are really working hard. We're working a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, seeing what they can do. And then, we've had a lot of guys that kind of focused on one position up till now. And so we're kind of branching them out, seeing what they can do, seeing where they can help us. And, those guys do a great job of working really hard in the weight room, training their bodies. That's all for the purpose of you got to make that work translate to the field, and to see them a step faster, maybe a punch stronger. It's good to see which guys are going to step up and be leaders on the field, which guys are going to lead by example. We got a rising senior group that's that's been in our program for a lot of years. We got a lot of guys that have waited their turn. Wyatt Pittenbarger, Hunter Franklin. We've got some guys, Caleb Holzer, Eli Blevins, Jesse Whitehead, are just guys that have waited their turn, and now they get a chance to have some senior leadership.
That eating last night, she and I ran into Cujo, and I thought, man, what memories this guy gave us for Cyclone football.
Just a 280-pound defensive end coming through high school, and, here's a guy that, Cujo's kind of graduated from Furman 4 years. He played 4 years. He stuck it out. It's just super proud of him. Walk away with a degree. And, he's a great football player for us, most importantly, but to go on to college and play 4 years and finish it, it's really seen him grow. Played in Death Valley against Clemson a couple times. Obviously watched him over here against ETSU. But, to play 4 years and to walk away with a degree from Furman, super proud of him and really proud that he's going to be back in this community. And he's got a shot. He's trained and had a pro day down in Columbia, South Carolina. And hopefully if he doesn't get drafted, he can be picked up by a free agent, get invited to a camp to get that experience. And I'm telling you, no regrets with Cujo. I mean, 4-year playing career here, all state. She was always always there, not just for Cujo, but all of our players in our program.
You talking about him playing in Clemson? I saw the schedule. Middle Tennessee State, Parker Hughes and Trent Taylor get to go play Alabama.
I saw that. I actually got a call yesterday from Parker's linebacker coach. I mean, they're just super proud of him, and obviously. Parker's a great young man, got put on full scholarship, went through spring practice. Trenton's doing a great job of hanging in there. It's not tough. Trenton's making the transition from defensive line to offensive line, so there's some training wheel process there, just playbook and competing as offensive lineman. But proud of him for hanging in there, and then obviously Parker just man, just the story he has to tell. Just betting on yourself, and they brought in all these other guys in to beat him out, and he just hung in there and started every special team, and then maximized his opportunity when he got that and got put on full scholarship. Talked to his coach yesterday, but man, that's really, and they get a degree from Furman or MTSU, and they went through a football program, and they go for a job interview. People know how hard it is.
Absolutely.
And to
Persevere.
academics and football program, and then the games, and how tough it is, and how you got to persevere and keep your grades up. You can't let them slip. That people want to hire guys like that. When they get out here for a job, because they didn't quit. They didn't quit. They done the best they could, and they finished up track, and with some running back receivers. So excited about some of those guys, and then also our defensive line. We return every one of our see him on both sides of the ball as well. So just a lot of guys have worked really hard. Kyron Smalls, center as a guard. Two young guys that are going to be rising sophomores, and Kyler McGovern and as a young defensive end, H-back, and then also break out is the work got to come before the play, and so these guys understand you got to put in the work before you go to the field, and these guys have done that before school, during school, after school. They've gone through great work, and just super proud of the results that we're getting by their effort and their attitude on the field.
My dad always told us 4 boys, the only place for success comes before work is in the dictionary. You got to put in the work to get to success, and he was right in anything you do. So it's so how many days TSSAA give you for spring practice?
Well, you get a maximum of 10 practices in 15 days over 3 weeks. So you can spread them out and use them how you want to. So we've gone helmets and shoulder pads. We go like 3 days, and then 4. And just kind of make sure we're getting some good drill work, a little bit of contact. We're in helmets, shoulder pads, and shorts. Moving the guys back from offense to defense, pushing the condition a little bit. Then it kind of gives them a taste of getting ready for summer. You go through a period of things of strengths and weaknesses, things they got to improve on the summer. Work on some, making sure that these guys are ready to go. It kind of gets the juices flowing a little bit as well. So we don't have any quarterbacks out there. We're still missing some key guys, which is not a big deal, but it's a chance to work on our depth and see what some guys can do. And then we're excited about it. Summer schedule's already out, so we got a big month of June ahead of us, and big month of July, and then looking forward to that. So myself and Coach Harrison's done a great job with some guys in the off-season program, and Coach White has done a great job of obviously developing some young offensive linemen, and so just really excited with a lot of these guys. Got a lot of new faces, a lot of new names, but I think that we got a great future ahead of us. Our guys understand. The thing about it is, Tom, is just in order to beat the good teams, you can't just show up and play. I mean, it's the work day in and day out. You got to embrace the grind, and it's a part of it. And so fortunate enough, we've got great weather last week. Last week it was 80 degrees. This week we got some great weather, so get a chance to get outside and play some football. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great feeling.
Cyclone football, 114 days from today. We don't run from pressure, we bring it. Cyclone football, I like it. That's mine. I coined that little phrase. We don't run from pressure, we bring it. So I do appreciate you coming over.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Always. Thank you.
Cyclones, absolutely. Love talking. I can talk to him all day long. We just about did. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We will check in with Gary Rowe from Fairview Baptist Church. He's a big Kentucky Wildcat fan. Also coming up, we got baseball, softball, and soccer to take a look at. All that straight ahead on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hi, this is Mandy Lewis with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Did you know we can quickly and conveniently deliver Mary Kay products directly to you? We offer easy-to-do home and office delivery. Avoid standing in a line for your skincare products when Mary Kay can ship them right to your door through the customer delivery service. Find out today how we can ship the hundreds of quality Mary Kay products right to your door. Contact me today at marykay.com/mlewis10377. That's marykay.com/mlewis10377.
great sponsors here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show and Cyclone Sports from Northeast Community Credit Union. Credit Sense by Savvy Money. Tell me about this.
Yeah, that's basically just a term for checking your credit score for free. It does not affect your credit score when you check it. There is no impact whatsoever. It is a soft pull. It is through our home banking. If you're a member, you can log in through your home banking and then you can check your credit score for free. You can also get specialized loan officers on there as well. You can see how your credit score is calculated. You can see how your credit score is going to be impacted if you get a loan. You can go ahead and calculate that. You can get instant access to the factors impacting your credit score, such as the payment history, credit usage, all of that stuff. And the best part, there are so many articles under resources for saving money, for your future, for retirement, for planning. I mean, there are so many articles, short articles. If you have any questions about how to improve your credit score, it's on there. And this is just a wonderful feature. It is free. There is no charge whatsoever. So take advantage of that if you're a member with us.
BeMyCU.org. That's where you want to go. That's the starting point. Go from there to find out more about Credit Sense by Savvy Money from Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Look, he stopped by. We're glad he did. Pastor Gary Rowe, Fairview Baptist Church, who also, obviously on the screen, is a big Kentucky Wildcat fan.
Yeah.
So you're pretty excited because you're the guy with the cannon's got a pretty good chance of getting drafted way up there.
He does. He's got a cannon for an arm, and like I was kind of joking earlier, and Sean was kind of talking about it too. He just has some intangibles, but when you go to Kentucky and this past year when you got to run for your life, I mean, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You learn how to work out of the pocket. So
he didn't get much protection, did he?
Not this past year. No.
Snap and run.
Snap and run, and hope for the best. Yeah.
6'4", 225.
Yeah.
The word is he's got a cannon for an arm, kind of like Joe Milton of Tennessee. I mean,
yeah.
He can.
He does.
He
whips it.
He can whip it. So, where do you think he'll end up? Think Carolina will take him? Number one.
They said overnight that there was a trend overnight that he was looking at number one. I did see that. You never know. I mean, it's just you never know where. And it's kind of one of those things where there's so many quarterbacks that he could go as high as one, or if a team has that need, to fill on a line or on a defensive line, or a tackle or an offensive tackle. I mean, he could drop late. I mean, you just never know how it's going to go, but. I did read that overnight they said that he was really, really trending to be top one or two pick.
To go higher? That's good.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, obviously Will Levis, and Hendon Hooker, the big five quarterbacks. Yeah. And so that's the buzz. Who's going to get these guys? And do you feel like, we had Buckles on here earlier, do you feel like all five quarterbacks will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? There'll be some linemen in there sprinkled in.
There's going to be some linemen. There's going to have to be. I mean, there's been the last 3 to 5 years. There's been a huge stock of great quarterback talent. So there's still guys developing where you can bring in some pretty good sized linemen that can go ahead and start filling that void that you've got now. So I could see all five going, but I think it's going to be spread out.
The Wildcats losing Revis. Revis is now looking at the quarterback transfer from NC State. Is that right?
Yeah.
You happy with that one?
Yeah. I mean, so I love for Kentucky kids to get a shot. And there's Kaya Sharon that was there. He was a backup. He had one start this past year against South Carolina. I felt like, and even the coaches admitted they didn't prepare him. It was a really shaky game that they should have won, didn't. South Carolina come into Lexington and beat them. I would have liked to have seen him get a shot. He'll be a junior this year, I think maybe a redshirt sophomore. But I'd like to see at least maybe he'll be the backup. But if this kid can come in from NC State, give us some wins right off the bat, then maybe it'd be a good thing. Like Levis did for us. It was just. What Levis did for Kentucky football was incredible the last 2 years.
He was a man among boys in Lexington, no question.
No question. Yeah.
So Calipari and your basketball team,
Yeah.
got some more going out. There's some come through the back door, but there's a lot of them going out the front door.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. It's just the carousel of college basketball. And, you and I were talking the other day, coaches have kind of voiced their opinion. I don't know that Calipari has, but some of them, Izzo and some of these guys have voiced their opinion about the portal, that they don't like it. And I understand that. And I can understand where universities don't like it. I can tell you as a fan, I don't like it. But you've got these blue blood coaches that, no matter what they're saying anymore, it doesn't matter. It's apparently here to stay. And it's hard to believe that a kid can get a shot at a Kentucky or, one of the blue bloods and feel like he can do better elsewhere, but they do, so that's what we're seeing right now. The carousel is continuing to roll, and so we've lost some to the draft and some to the portal, so.
He's a huge Kentucky basketball, just Wildcat fan. So if I had to tell, all right, we'll give you you mentioned Kentucky basketball across the board down through the years. Who's your 3 most famous players?
Most famous? Oh.
Or the first 3 that jump out in your mind?
Jack Givens.
Okay, Goose Givens.
Yeah.
That's one I would have picked.
Anthony Davis and Jamal Mashburn.
Okay. I would have picked, I'd have picked Goose Givens. I would have picked Kyle Macy.
Yeah.
And I'm going way back, Dan Issel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Issel was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way back. But and I forgot Anthony Davis went to Kentucky?
Yeah, he did.
The one with the Lakers? That Anthony Davis?
Yeah, won a national title with him. Yeah, in 2012.
Why did I not know that?
Yeah.
So, Pitino?
No, he was with Cal. That was Cal's only national championship.
AD, I did not know he was a Kentucky Wildcat.
Yeah.
So Jamal Mashburn, forgot about him. He could play too.
Reason I say Jamal Mashburn is, Mashburn was tough. He was he came in, I believe, in Pitino's second or third year, and of course that was during the time of the Unforgettables with Pelfrey and Feldhouse and those guys. And Mashburn was one of Pitino's really first big. They make a big deal out of the 5 stars and all that, but he was one of the national players, and he came in and really helped to turn the program around from where Eddie Sutton had it, and they all the probation and all that. So Mashburn was not only was he really good, but he helped turn the program around.
My brother at that point was the coach up in West Virginia, and he coached Jared Prickett, who went on to play Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, and that was a big buzz up in West Virginia. He didn't go to play for the Mountaineers. He went to go to play for maybe in Pitino, I guess.
Yeah, he did. Prickett was a good player.
Yeah.
Good play, good ball.
Jared
player.
Prickett. Yeah, my brother coached him in West Virginia. So you've got Kentucky football on the radar tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball a little ways down the road. And this weekend, we have a car show. Tell me about the car show.
Yeah, so I brought our flyer with me so I wouldn't get anything wrong on it. But we're having our 4th annual car show at our church, at Fairview Baptist Church. We're located at 585 Watauga Road, over in Watauga area, and it'll go from 10 to 3. And we have some of the best barbecue you'll ever eat. Will be there. We'll be at our concessions, along with hot dogs, and we have a full concession stand. And it's grown every year. It's been great, and we're kind of landlocked a little bit with our parking lot. But we the fellow that kind of helps organize this thing, or does organize it, he knows how to maximize our space. So we always have a really good show, and so all the proceeds, and it's all by donation. Even if you put a car in, it's by donation. And concessions, we've got some pricing there, but on our concessions. But all of our proceeds are going to go towards sending our teenagers on a mission trip to Mississippi this year. Down in, I always get the name mixed up. It's a little small, really impoverished town in Mississippi.
Go down and do some work.
Yeah, I'm going to do some work. Yeah,
make a difference.
Yeah.
So this is coming up. Let me put it up on the screen here. Again, I'll keep it too because I can talk about it Friday.
Please.
4th annual Fairview Baptist Church Car Show this coming Saturday. See it from 10 until 3. Door prizes.
Yeah.
Open show to anything with wheels.
Yeah.
Youth Pick Awards. Pastor's Pick. You're going to pick one?
Yeah, that's always
that's
always tough.
Concessions for lunch. You mentioned that. And also you got, of course, Great Family Funds all free. And if you want to make a donation, certainly, of course, you got to pay for the food. But the whole point is to, again, raise money for these kids, these young people to get to the mission on the mission field in Mississippi later on this year. So
yeah, being this summer.
So you're a car guy, per se?
I don't know much about them. I like looking at them.
Yeah.
So we have some really sharp cars and trucks that come in.
Mhm.
So
if I said, all right, checkbook's open, go get a car you want from days gone by.
Oh wow. My dad would probably kill me because he's a big Mustang guy, and I love
Yeah.
Mustangs.
Mhm.
So if an unlimited checkbook, I'd probably buy him a 70 Mach 1 Mustang.
70 Mach 1 Mustang.
He had one and sold it, and one of those big regrets of life, Personally, I'm a big fan of 68 Camaros. I love 68 Camaros.
Ooh,
so
them boys could go, too.
They can go. Yeah,
Yep.
I like them. Yeah.
Old Bowtie, Chevrolet man. So, there's no question. I've always wanted one. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get one or not, but I've always wanted a 57 Chevy.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
A paddy wagon,
Yeah.
as they called them.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, buddy. When I was a kid, a guy had one up there. Gosh, I remember I was probably in grade school. No, I was younger than that. I could still see looking out our bay window and seeing this lime green and white paddy wagon come down the street, deep dish Craigers.
Yeah.
I can see it like it was yesterday, and I was probably
Yeah.
4 or 5 years old. And then he said, bah, 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 bah. I thought, this is really rednecks delight in West Virginia. This is really cool. So a 57 Chevy paddy wagon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and you'll see those kind of things there coming up on Saturday, trucks and cars. And
we have a wide variety.
in fact, there's one right there.
Yeah, trucks, cars. We have a Camaro Club that comes in. We've had some.
There's your 57 Chevy right there on the flyer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we have a wide variety, and our youth will go around and kind of pick their picks for the day, and so we give those awards, and then he put it on me every year to do a pastor's pick. So I've tried to spread the love. I've given it to a Mustang, I've given it to a Camaro, and I've given it to a truck. So I try to spread the love
Spread it around.
Yeah.
So if they're out there and say, okay, I want to put my car in it, what do we do? Just show up Saturday
Show
morning?
up. Yeah, just show up, and people will start showing up 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so just come on in, and we'll park you, and it's just show up. It's just a great time, just an outreach for our community, and and just an opportunity for people to come have a good time and look at some old cars and that people have preserved or done a really good job restoring. And as you go around and you look at all those, and you are always saying that, like you always hear, they don't make them like they used to. And you sure see that at a car show. Yeah.
Watauga Road, Old Watauga Road, and that's where it's located. And then if you know anything, of course we had him on the show Monday, Dave Johnson from Camp Tapawingo. If you know anything where that's at, it's on the same road, Old Watauga Road, Fairview Baptist Church, 4th Annual Car Show. Gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. We're praying for no rain, and I'm confident. I'm confident in that. So yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely, anytime. I appreciate the opportunity.
He has a program at the church. Huge fan of it, the Awana program.
Yeah.
Pre-workmen are not ashamed, and it's good stuff, and it instills the gospel through memorization of these kids.
Yeah.
And you have game time, and it's more than just, there's studying involved, but there's game time and all that going on too. So it's a good program.
Great discipling program, and I'm actually doing some study right now on discipleship, and you start them young, and
train them up.
Train them up. That's it. So yeah, great program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes from.
We end on the 24th is our last Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We do it on Wednesday nights. We begin at 6 o'clock, and we feed our workers and the kids, and then about 6:30 we break into our program and go through all the different stations or areas, classes, and that kind of thing. So usually ends right at about right a little before 8 o'clock, and so yeah.
Age appropriate. You start them at kindergarten, run them up.
Yeah. So we do start them. We do start them early, and kindergarten was our Sparks, and we have Cubbies too, which is some pre-K, and so people will call about that. And as long as they're potty trained, they can come. So we start them young with our Cubbies, and our Awana or our Sparks is the next group, and they work up into our 4th through 6th grade, which is our TNT, which is Truth and Training, and then they go into our youth department, which our youth, they kind of do their own thing, but they still are part of somewhat part of the Awana program as far as the games and stuff goes. So, but they kind of have their own lessons and do their own thing. Yeah.
It's a good program.
Yeah.
Awesome program. I was involved with it earlier in my life with my youngins and at a other church across, where was this? It was in Johnson City, so Boones
Yeah.
Creek actually. So, yep, good stuff.
Yeah, great program.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of statistics today of. I just was reading again. I think I shared this with you maybe first time I was with you, but you know, they kind of are up and down with their stats, but anywhere from 60 to 85% of high school graduates, there's a disconnect, and so between church and their personal life, and so you know, you try to instill that disciple them early, and prayerfully it'll stick as they graduate. You know, so
85%.
yeah, it's I've
Are
seen
disconnected from church.
Disconnected.
Which means they're not going.
Yeah, just completely disconnected.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
We got work to do.
No doubt.
So
Yeah.
here's my thing. There's nothing wrong going to Russia and going to China, going to these places, but there's a mission field to the sound of my voice.
We've got people we got to reach.
Yeah.
You know, right
Here.
in Carter County.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Yep. Quick break. We'll be right back. He's here. He's waited us out. He was doing fixing something, so he's here. He's going to join us right after this. Mr. Miller's in the house on the Tom Daly Sportsman. You teach classes. You go all over the place teaching classes, all over the country. You've been here and there doing clinics and different symposiums and so on and so forth. Tell us about that. It's pretty special.
Oh, it's we really enjoy it. It's something that I started doing with my dad, with him back when I first got out of school, and we travel all over the country. We still do, basically teaching other PTs and physicians to do what we do here in Elizabethton and in Carter County. And it's crazy that our little kind of beautiful part of the country, that people are interested and want to copy what we do here, and it's because we do such a good job at it.
That's what separates them from all the other competition, because he's out teaching classes all over the place. And tell me some of the places you've been to do that.
Oh, we've been to California, Oregon, all over the Midwest, into the Northeast, and the really interesting people that we're teaching are the military PTs, because of everything that the military is allowed to do. There's not the insurance restrictions that we have here on the civilian side. So it's interesting to see the PTs that are able to do these amazing treatments coming to us to say, hey, how do we do what you do to make sure that our servicemen and women get the best treatment possible?
That's awesome. That's the reason why you need to come to Physical Therapy Services if you have a problem, and he's going to tell you how to do that here in just a second, the social media. But you look now that, you know, they come all the way, they go all over the country to teach PTS's theories, if you will. So it's not just a local, it's not just a regional, it's a national company, Physical Therapy Services. So if we need your help, how do we get a hold of you?
Hey, give us a call at my office, 543-0073. You can call us at our pediatric office, 543-2215. You can also reach us on social media on Facebook, Physical Therapy Services. We'll be happy to help you out however we can, and if we can't get you better, then we'll point you in touch with the right people that can.
You got it. One of our great sponsors here, Cyclone Sports and the Tom Daly Sports Show, love promoting Dr. Smith and his great folks at Physical Therapy Services. Back on the Tom Daly Sports Show, look who stopped by from right here at Northeast Community Credit Union, Mr. Seth Miller. Huge Braves fan. UT fan?
Both true.
Both true. Hooker, where's he going to go in the draft?
I'm going to say the Titans are going to trade down to the end of the first round and get him. I mean, I'm not a Titans fan. I'm a owner of the Green Bay Packers.
Are you a Packer fan?
I am, yeah.
All right. You own stock?
I do own stock of the Green Bay Packers.
All right. So that's obviously leading into that one then. Aaron Rodgers, you sad, glad?
I'm glad. It was time. He's kind of wound down a little bit. I think the Jets are probably a good fit for his personality now and, you know, his the persona. But I also think Jordan Love last year when he came in looked pretty good, looked capable.
Is that your new quarterback, you think?
I believe it will be Jordan Love, and I think there's going to be enough draft capital now to surround him with some weapons. Perhaps even former Vol Jalen Hyde. I think that might be somewhere that the Packers look for a slot guy because they're not keeping Randall Cobb around. So
they got a lot of picks.
A lot of picks
for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Goodness.
Yeah, which was surprising with that amount of money. It was almost $60 million he's getting annually. That I would figure that the Packers would just took a second rounder for him being done with it, but no, son, they got a first rounder. Well, they swapped first rounders this year to upgrade a little bit, then conditional for next year. So if he plays, 65%?
65% of the games.
Yeah, so
they milked it pretty good.
They did.
And he's one, as we know this in sports, he's one hit, one whatever being out, but yet with all those different draft picks, to me, the Jets may say we won, but I think the Packers won that deal because they got a lot of bodies coming through the draft. And, you give up Aaron Rodgers, but, it looked like to me last year, and I watched him maybe once or twice, it looked like his heart wasn't. It just didn't look like he was going.
No, and he's
going
sliding.
through emotions
He's
or what.
I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just sustain that for your whole life. Especially, he's had a lot of injuries. He's had the collarbones broke. He's had ankles had problems. He's had ACL problems. I mean, he's getting broken down. So
yeah, I think the Packers, in my opinion, I think they won that deal. That Rodgers is long in the tooth, and they still have gas in the tank. I think so, but the Packers got a lot of bodies they're going to be able to draft because of what they gave up to, or what they got to give up Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. Who do you think will go tomorrow night's number one draft?
I mean, there was all that smoke about Will Levis coming out, but I think that was just some sort of plan. I think the Panthers will be a fool to pass on Bryce.
Bryce Young?
Yeah, I just think. I mean, I watched him play in person in Neyland, and I mean that was probably the best quarterback, even including Tebow, that I saw in person there. I mean, and that was coming off a significant ankle injury. There was all the talk that Milroe was going to play for Alabama coming into that game, and then Bryce Young suits up and comes out there, and you're like, well, he's going to be 70%. He's not going to be good, but man, I'm telling you,
lit him up.
That guy's a warrior. Some of the plays he could make. I mean, he's small in stature, but I mean, Drew Brees. I don't see how you could pass on Bryce Young, especially for somebody like Will Levis that was a turnover-prone machine. They say he's Josh Allen's clone. Absolutely not. No.
Anthony Richardson?
Now, I saw him play too in person. I saw him a couple times, and I was impressed in Neyland this year. He lit Tennessee up, but that was when the Tennessee secondary was still trying to find their footing a little bit. But now he's got a cannon, and he is a heck of an athlete now. And I think Tennessee has somebody that's going to be similar to him this year. I think old Joe Milton's going to be similar. He's a similar athlete, except Milton could probably spin the ball a little better and throw it a little farther. But I think Anthony Richardson would be a stretch anywhere. Maybe somebody like the Seattle Seahawks could draft him and set him behind their guy for a couple years. Let him learn a little bit, maybe absorb the playbook. But I don't think he's worthy of a top 5 pick, in my opinion.
C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud is, he's very accurate. I thought in the Georgia game against the NFL caliber defense that he looked awesome. But, there's some questions about his work ethic. There's questions about his intelligence, which, those Wonderlic tests and that new one, what's it called? There's some new one they replaced it with that he scored exceptionally low on. I'm not sure. I mean, you could be in a hurry or whatever and not care, but I mean, it's probably concerning. But at the same time, he's so accurate. I could not imagine or fathom drafting Will Levis above Stroud.
Oh, really?
Nah, I couldn't.
It's
of course, I hate Kentucky, so.
Oh, so that
there's that
adds
caveat.
to it.
That adds I mean, I hate Alabama too, but I got to recognize real. Bryce Young, he's a different beast.
What about Hooker?
Hooker's now that's a story. I think that's a hyper developed player there, old Hooker. I mean, he comes from Virginia Tech, looks pedestrian there. He was in the spring game a couple years ago. It was Harrison Bailey and Milton and Hooker looked the worst of the three, and then look what happened. 4 interceptions in his 2-year starting career. That's just unheard of. And some of those throws that he made this year, I wouldn't count him out.
2 national championships for the Georgia Bulldogs. And I'm not hearing anything about Stetson Bennett. Why not?
Well, first of all, I know I said Bryce Young's stature wasn't a hindrance to him, but his athletic ability is a little different than Stetson Bennett. And Stetson Bennett also has some character issues. I mean, he's been arrested a couple times. That's been pretty public, Yeah. And then he's also, his arm's not great. He's just enough to win in college. He's like a Danny Warfel, if you will. I mean, obviously he didn't get the accolades that Danny Warfel got under Spurrier in the 90s, but same type of player. I don't think he translates to the NFL.
What was the name of the quarterback that set all the records in Nebraska? It's been about
Tim Couch.
Tim Couch?
He's not as athletic as Tim Couch. That guy was a runner.
I think Tim Couch doesn't sound right. Tim Couch, maybe. He was up there as a quarterback for Nebraska and did everything for college and got to the pros and just never panned out.
Yeah, well, and then there's been a couple others too from Nebraska. I mean, their former coach, he was that way. They tried to convert him to a safety or receiver in the NFL.
Scott Frost.
So, yeah, Frost is trying to be a safety or receiver in the NFL. I can't remember, but no, I think Stetson Bennett's probably a guy that you might see playing in the XFL or USFL.
USFL. He's also an Atlanta Braves fan. So, what do you think about the Bravos? I'm looking here; they are 16-8, 2 better than the Mets right now. What do you think about your Braves?
Well, first of all, they just got off a 4-game snag. They lost the last game to San Diego in 3-game series, won the first 2, so that was good. And then got swept by the Houston Astros. The pitching wasn't so great, but past couple of games against the Marlins, who've looked decent this year, they've really turned things around. Spencer Strider almost threw the perfect game the other night. Then Charlie Morton, he came on last night, and he was just dominant. So
got Elder on the mound tonight. You like Bryce Elder?
I would if he wasn't going against the Marlins pitcher that they're playing against tonight, Sandy Alcantara.
Alcantara.
He won Cy Young last year.
Cy Young Award winner. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, the Marlins' firepower on offense isn't great. So the Braves always have a chance there, especially with their lineup, even with all the injuries. But I would probably lean toward the Marlins taking Game 3 tonight.
Andrea's right. She said, you get Seth in here, he's going to talk a lot of sports. This guy knows his sports. That's impressive. I like it. We're talking to Seth Miller, who works here, obviously, at Northeast Community Credit Union. We're going to get into that in a moment, but I want to. So last night, Albies hit 2, and you said Sam Hilliard hit 2 home runs?
Yeah, Sam Hilliard. I think that was actually the night before last when he hit 2, but Aussie's was last night he hit 2, and they were both from the right side, which I wish, as a Braves fan, that he would stick with the right side. You know, he switch hits, but he looks way better and more comfortable in the box when he's batting right-handed, and they were both right-handed swings.
Who's trade bait at this point? Anybody? Acuna? No.
Heck no.
Ozuna?
Well, I would love for Ozuna to be trade bait, but I don't think anybody would touch him with a 10-foot pole.
No.
I mean, so much character issues, and then he's pitting .69 on the year. I mean,
the word is he's a clubhouse cancer. He gets in there and keeps stuff stirred up, and he's not a good guy in the clubhouse.
I can't speak to anybody's character, but I know one thing: he's atrocious at the plate right now.
Yeah.
And not good in the field, so that's not a good combination.
Is Soroka coming back?
I think he will be. He's doing pretty good in AAA right now. He's had a few good starts in a row, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him back before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I don't know where they'll put him right now, but especially if Bryce Elder keeps it up. But if Elder struggles the next couple games, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try Soroka.
Buck basketball, East Tennessee State basketball. What do you think? You're a big Buck fan.
Well, Brooks Savage is coming in, replacing Dez, who did a good job. I mean, there was definitely some issues there, as there is anywhere with a coach that's not winning a lot. The talent there last year was awesome. It compared to one of those Forbes teams, I thought, you know what, they're going to come in and have some success, especially earlier in the preseason tournament they had. They looked great against the Louisiana Lafayette team that almost beat Tennessee in the NCAA tournament. And then just the wheels fell off. But the talent was definitely there. I think a coaching change probably was inevitable. Dez seems like a good guy and a high-character guy, but I don't know if head coach was for him. But Brooks is coming in. You know, he has no experience as a head coach, but he has followed Forbes around. So Forbes was, the best basketball coach ETSU's had since, the 60s or 70s, probably since Sonny Smith. It's been a while since I've had a good coach of that stature. So I don't know. I really don't know what to think. I mean, some transfers are committing, but that's the way the transfer portal now. I mean, I think Steve Forbes kind of was one of the leading instigators of the transfer portal. And then so hopefully Brooks will bring that same mentality and Steve Forbes' big mantra of wanting to take a bunch of Burger King fighters to whoop up on McDonald's. I hope that's the same principle Brooks has, that blue-collar mentality.
Buck football, what do you think?
Well, George Quarles' first year was a flop. You know, I was really surprised Randy Sanders had the success he did. You know, I mean, his offensive coordinating duties last few years before he was ETSU's head coach wasn't great. I mean, he was demoted at Florida State. His Kentucky team wasn't very good, and I was like, well, this is going to be awful. And then he got to ETSU, and son, I tell you, some of those games, there was a playoff game a couple years ago I was at that I believe they were playing, I'm trying to think who it was. It was a triple option team. They were supposed to beat, it was Kennesaw State. And Kennesaw State was supposed to beat them, and ETSU in the last minute and a half. Do you remember that? Came back 10-point deficit and won. That was one of the wildest games I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of games in different places. But yeah, so there was a lot of energy there. And then last year, Quarles came in. I liked the white helmet change, did like that, but the offense was pedestrian. It was high schoolish.
Pedestrian. I like this guy. Seth Miller's with us from Northeast Community Credit Union. So here we're growing. We're getting ready to do an expansion, are we not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 months we'll get started on that. You know, we're going to pretty much double this building, making it a kind of a double of itself. Just the whole reason is just to expand our member services, what we can offer to our members, what we can do as far as having the more personnel and more space to accomplish that. You know, by having another building, you can move people out there that maybe just answer phones and different things where they don't really see people, and maybe make this building more, you know, member oriented, where we can see a lot more people and do a lot more things. So it's an exciting time for sure.
Yep. Northeast Community Credit Union, where we are broadcasting live. Of course, Andrea was here earlier in the show, and Seth's going to finish it up. So $5 to get started. Come be a member. And she was talking about all the loan rates right now for all the toys, a.k.a. boats, RVs, motorcycles, jet skis, whatever you would consider a toy. You guys can make loans, and you're making loans for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Just that's kind of our mission. You know, we're people helping people. We were started in 1952 as a teachers credit union, Elizabethton Teachers Credit Union, and the whole purpose was to help teachers purchase things such as refrigerators and washers and dryers and that sort of thing that teachers didn't have money for back then. You know, because teacher salaries weren't anything. Even what they are now, they were kind of they were low. So we were started for teachers to help teachers, and then built into, you know, in the early 90s we transferred to Northeast Community Credit Union from Elizabethton Teachers Federal Credit Union. My dad was actually a member of Elizabethton Teachers Credit Union. I still have one of the T-shirts. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, because my dad was a teacher. So I've still got one of those T-shirts. But yeah, we transitioned to Northeast Community Credit Union to expand our membership from just helping those teachers to also helping all of our community in the same faucet. I mean, we're people helping people, and that's what we want to do. So if you want a boat, or you want a car, or you want a motorcycle or whatever, come by here and see us, and we'll help you out.
Absolutely. Your social media, how do we find you? BeMyCU.org.
BeMyCU.org.
Yep. Same
for Facebook. Now, I will admit I'm not a social media guy. I know I'm an IT guy here, but social media is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of questions are definitely better asked for Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah.
The queen.
Yeah.
Locations, you have Oakland Avenue, Johnson City, right down from Mellow Mushroom. Of course,
Mhm.
here's the main office behind Elizabethton High School here on Jason Witten Way. And you have 19E
Yep.
and Roan Mountain.
Yep.
There you go.
Roan Mountain's our prettiest branch, I will say that. I don't know if you've been up there.
I passed it. I've never been in it.
Oh, it's pretty. The woodwork and stuff. It's definitely our prettiest branch. So.
Yeah, that's neat. You pretty excited about this expansion here?
I mean, I'm excited as can be.
Yeah.
I mean, till we get shovels in the ground, you know, it's all wait and see approach. But yeah, we're just thrilled to death to be able to start something that can benefit our community in this capacity.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you. Next time I'm here, I want you to come on, all right?
Hey, whatever you need, Chief.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Seth Miller, Northeast Community Credit Union. Quick break. We'll come right back, and we will take a look, as promised, into high school baseball, softball, and soccer from yesterday. We'll do that right after this from Cannon Furniture, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports.
Millions of dollars of furniture in stock right now. Are you tired of hearing what you want is sold out? We have the largest selection of in-stock furniture in the area. We receive truckloads every day of special buys ready for you to pick up today or have delivered. Come get your new furniture at Cannon's Furniture in downtown Elizabethton. How about new furniture for only $1 a day? At Cannon's, you can get your new furniture for about $1 a day and pay no interest. Over 700 items for only $1 a day. Plus, it's all in stock. No waiting, and you could be enjoying your new furniture tonight. Come to Cannon's today and save.
Again, talking to my buddy Brian Pipkin, the general manager at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. So let's plant some seed for the springtime, summertime outdoor activities. Let's start with Dream Packs. Tell us about those.
You know, our Dream Packs are a staple here. They're one of the things that customers look for. We do them in even quantity, starting with feeding 4 people, you know, up to 400, 500, 600, however many you can imagine. we can do that for you. Dream Pack's going to come with all the meat that you need, the buns that you need to make your sandwiches, all of the sauce, and 3 of our sides. You get to choose from our macaroni salad, our potato salad, our coleslaw, our macaroni and cheese, or our baked beans, or we can even do plain or barbecue chips. We do all that in-house. So it's a really good way to feed a lot of people. And what a lot of people don't know, you don't necessarily have to call that ahead. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, a reasonable number we can have done very quickly here. So if you're driving by the interstate and you're thinking, hey, I wish I'd gotten something to feed my family for supper tonight, and you see the sign, stop on in. We'll take care of you. You don't have to call this in ahead of time. Feel free to just stop by the window and grab it.
Meat by the pound. Tell us about that.
Meat by the pound, same thing. If you're just looking for meat, or even if you're just looking for sides, you're thinking, I don't want to cook tonight, but I'm just trying to feed a bunch of people and do it on a reasonable budget. We do meat by the pound, or pulled pork, pulled chicken, smoked turkey, $13.99 a pound. Brisket a little bit more, a little more expensive meat at $24.99, or you can do our pulled beef at $14.99. So fairly reasonable pricing. We're going to throw the sauce in on that as well. As always, we do a 10% discount for our veterans and our police officers. We appreciate, and firefighters, first responders, we appreciate all their sacrifice and effort, and we want to appreciate them in that way as well.
Last thing, tell me about the sampler platters you can get here at Phil's Dream Pit.
Sampler platter, a good way to try a lot of different things. We can do either 2 or 3 meats. You can choose from our pulled pork, our smoked turkey, our pulled chicken. We do a pulled beef that's a beef shoulder and ribeye combination that we pull just like our pork. The smoked brisket, the dry rub ribs, the sweet ribs. Choose any of those in 2 or 3 meat options and put them on a platter. You can even do our pork wing, which is a piece of shank meat, a really tender piece of meat on a bone that we call a pork wing. If pigs could fly, that's what they look like.
On social media, how do we find you?
Facebook, we're on Facebook right now. Maybe one day we'll be on Instagram and Snapchat if my kids could show me how. But for now, Facebook's where we're at.
And the hours you're open here?
Hours are 11 to 7, Tuesday through Saturday. We're closed on Sunday on the Lord's Day, and we're closed on Monday to give our little bit of time for our families and to get ramped up again for the week.
Yep. Website is Phil's Dream Pit.
Website at philsdreampit.com. Everything we're talking about, you can order right there as well. Pick a pickup time. Usually we'll have them ready in about 20 minutes, or you can even select a pickup time. So if you're thinking at 11 o'clock, I want to pick something up on the way home, order it, have it ready 4:30, 4:45, and we'll have it sitting here ready to go for you when you get here.
The quest for perfect barbecue, one of our great sponsors, been with me since day one. Phil's Dream Pit, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is Big Country, and this is
Just Tom, and this is the Big Country Sports Show, and we say,
Go Cyclones.
Big thanks to Big Country there. I'll tell you what, he's a great kid. Hello to Christy Hopkins. She is here. Hello from Northeast Community Credit Union. Connie Helms, Kathy Lyles. Thank you, kids, for being with us. We are live here again, here at Northeast Community Credit Union. Let's take a look again at high school baseball and softball. Let's start with baseball. And it was the Westridge Wolves scoring 4 runs in the first inning. Took over pretty quick and beat Crockett 10-4 in Jonesboro. Westridge now controls its own destiny for the number 2 seed in the upcoming tournament. A win over Daniel Boone tomorrow night would clinch it, while losing would potentially force a 3-way tie, depending on what DB does today at Crockett in their game there. Drew Hoover and Wade Witcher both went 3 for 5 with the Wolves. Avery Horn went 3 for 4. And Carter Gibson added 2 singles for Westridge. For Crockett in the losing cause, Isaac Cook went 2 for 3 to lead the Pioneers. Again, it was a Westridge win. The final there was 10-4. Science Hill finished with a perfect Big 5 record, beating Daniel Boone at TVA Credit Union Ballpark last night. Capped the season at 12-0. They ran the table in the conference. Tough loss to the Trailblazers, who are trying to navigate the tiebreaker maze. Could see Boone finish in a 3-way deadlock with Dobbinsville and Westridge, so some baseball to be played. That would send things down to a run differential tiebreaker. Science Hill got on the board Ryan Smith, RBI single. Chandler Justice finished with 2 hits to lead Boone. Aiden Roller worked 5 innings on the mound, allowing just 1 earned run. For Science Hill, Ryan Smith led the way to the plate with 2 hits and 2 RBIs, and Stutz also had 2 base hits in that ball game for the Science Hill Hilltoppers. So That was a big win there, of course, for the Toppers to run the table and finish, as we said, undefeated in the regular season in the conference in the Big Five. All right, other baseball games involving local teams. It was Cyclones going to Easton, winning 5-3 last night. Peyton Johnson drove in 3, including a solo homer. Elizabethton raced out to 5-3 lead, had a hang-on. Bryson Rowland, Briley Hurley each had 2 hits for the Cyclones. Jake Witcher and Connor McCormick had 2 hits apiece to lead Sullivan East. Again, the Cyclones went at 5-3. Iroquois County over Volunteer 8-0. Colby Jones, a no-hitter with 6 strikeouts. The Blue Devils defeated the Falcons. Lucas Schlegel, 3-run homer. Nicky Satterley had a solo shot and finished with 3 RBIs. Iroquois County shuts out Volunteer 8-0. South Green in baseball over Happy Valley 9-6. Tucker Shown had 2 hits and scored 3 times for the Warriors. Dakota Graham also scored 3 times, while Pedro Colunga finished with a pair of RBIs for Happy Valley in the losing calls. Ty Johnson had 2 hits and drove in 3 for South Green. Morristown West over Ty Johnson had 2 hits and drove in 3 for the Warriors, who rallied with 2 runs in the final inning. There you go. Morristown Western, didn't read that right. Morristown Western University High 2-0. The FCA Flames beat Hampton 9-5. John Melendez went 4 for 4 for the Flames. Keith Austin was a winner on the mound. Jaden Kuhn and Jonathan Greenwell each had 2 hits for Hampton, losing calls, losing to the Flames again 9-5. Unaka baseball over Cedarview Christian 11-1. Landon Ramsey finished with a dozen strikeouts and gave up a 1 hit in the Rangers' victory over the Seahawks. Logan Lewis had 2 doubles and provided 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored for Unaka in that winning calls. Cherokee shuts out Granger 6-0. Now in softball, let's take a look at softball from around the area yesterday, winding things down to the regular season. In Blumpville, Ava Saul, a 2-hit shutout over 6. Daniel Boone wrapping up the Big Five Conference regular season championship, winning 10-0 at West Ridge. Macy Masters had a 2-run homer. Riley Crowley, Kaylee Quisenberry, and Corey Thompson also ended with 2 RBIs. Madison Chapman and Victoria Browder had hits for the Lady Wolves on losing calls. Again, Boone wins at 10-0 to win the regular season championship. Crockett's ladies over Science Hill 8-7. Briley Tulloch had a walk-off double to score Sidney Hodges and lift the Pioneers over Science Hill 8-7. Megan Davis went 3 for 3 with a 2-run homer for Crockett, 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Avery Hope had 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And then Tulloch and Hodges also ended the game with 2 hits. For Science Hill, Laura Wilgus went 4 for 4. Isabella Meeks and Maddie Kelly each drove in 2 runs for Science Hill in the losing calls. Lady Cyclones all over Johnson County 12-1. Kennedy Harris went 4 for 5 with a pair of doubles. Lady Cyclones had 17 hits overall. Cheyenne Peru and Hannah Morgan each had 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Leadoff Maylee Ingram was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. Molly Johnson and Emma O'Quinn also had 2 hits. And Grace Whaley scored 3 times. Lily McDuffie stayed in command for the complete game win. For Mountain City, Johnson County, I should say, in Mountain City where the game was played. Hannah Fritz had a solo homer in the 6th inning for Johnson County's only run of the game. It was Volunteers, ladies, defeating Churchill 1-0. Volunteer defeating Tennessee High 1-0 in Churchill. Lady Falcons, Addison Fisher fanned 17 batters and a 2-hit shutout to win the pitcher's duel with her and Viking starter Riley Fields. Kendra Huff had 2 hits for Volunteer, while Jaden Ford singled to drive in Avery Weston for the game's only run. Volunteer wins it 1-0. Addison Fisher, 17 strikeouts. It's incredible. Iroquois County's ladies of East 13-9. Kendall Hensley solo homer. Peyton Higgins followed with a 2-run shot for Iroquois County. Higgins finishing with 4 RBIs, while Destiny Bridges had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Hensley finished with 3 hits and 3 runs. Now for Skylar Tipton was 4 for 5. Laurel Osborne, Jayla Chanley, and Kenzie Jones each had 2 hits for Iroquois County. For East, Olivia Ashbrook had a 2-run shot and 3 RBIs to lead the Lady Patriots. Keely Fields went 3 for 5 on the day with 3 RBIs, and Evie Leonard had 2 hits and scored twice. All right, a couple of more softball scores. Hampton over University High, 13-3. Lady Bulldogs, Briley Davis, 3 for 3, 2 runs scored. Mallory Lamb for Hampton had a 2-run double, while Abby Willis and Rachel Fair had 2 RBIs. For University High, Lauren Tucker, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs to lead University High. Hampton got them 13-3. Happy Valley's girls over Tri-Cities Christian 18-13. Ellen Marble had 3 hits and 3 runs scored. Lady Warriors outslugging the Lady Eagles. So that was the final score. Happy Valley wins at 18-13. I think we pretty well took care of it. In soccer, it was Greenville over Elizabeth at 8-0. Unicoi County beat Tennessee High 2-1. University High soccer beat West Green 4-0. And Volunteers 6-0. Senior night, 6-0 win over Sullivan East. Cameron Cox and Peyton Castle each had 2 goals and a winning cause for Volunteer. And that's a look at baseball and softball and soccer across the region here on this Wednesday. Any games going on today? There are baseball games. Dobbins Vineyard at Crockett. That's a biggie. University High, Tennessee High. In fact, they're all big, but that was big in the Big Five. University High, Tennessee High. John Battle will be at Providence Academy. That's in baseball. Softball tonight. Church night, Daniel Boone at Dobbins Vineyard. And Sullivan East will be at Westridge in girls high school softball tonight. And then one soccer, it's a biggie. Dobbins Vineyard at Science Hill, 1 versus 2. DB number 1, Science Hill number 2. They'll play that one tonight in Johnson City. So that's what's going on in baseball, softball, and soccer on this Wednesday, April the 26th, 2023. That's going to do it for the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Big thanks to our guests who came by today. Of course, Andrew Lewis from Northeast Community Credit Union and Seth Miller from NCCU. Also, we're joined by Sean Witten, head football coach at Elizabethton Cyclones. Also, you would say thanks to also to Gary Rowe, stopped by, the Kentucky Wildcat fan. Adam Buckles came by, give us a little highlight and preview of the draft, NFL draft coming up tomorrow night. So appreciate all those folks and certainly appreciate you being with us here on the show. We will wrap it up as we always do by giving you the verse of the day. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and today, of course, never any different. It's Deuteronomy 31:8 is the verse for the day. And it goes as follows: the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31:8, the verse of the day on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. That'll do it. Big thanks again to Andrew and the folks here at Northeast Community Credit Union. We'll do it all over again coming up. That will be Friday. Taking tomorrow. I'll be back Friday, ready to go. We'll be at Food City in Gray tomorrow, or rather Friday, and we'll see you then. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. And if you don't have church plans, join us again at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church tonight. We'll have that one for you this evening. And again, there'll be the revival of Pastor Jim Britton's in town, so we would encourage you to be a part of that. That's coming up tonight again, starting at 7 o'clock at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church. If you don't have a church home, we would encourage you to come by and join us, and that'll be coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. So until then, we'll say, as always, bloom where you planted and win or lose. Be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 1844 from Northeast Community.